Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, can you subscribe? If you're a returning subscriber, I love you. Thank you for always coming back. So it's day 4 of the Pepper Dem reunion show, and well, today's session they mostly talked about Big Brother himself and diary room sessions. Of course, we had a bit of recap of some of the diary room sessions. Omashola, Khafi, SEYI, Frodd. We had a bit, we saw a bit of the moment, and also SEYI in one of the sessions admitted to getting a bit too close to Tacha. Ooh, I remember Secha was trending then. After the recap, Ebuka spoke to Omashola about his diary room session because apparently social media went crazy the very first time Omashola went into that diary room session, and Ebuka mentioned that there was an assumption that if one wanted to win Big Brother Naija, it was through nominations or diary session, and asked Omashola if he knew that, and he said no. Omashola went on to say he figured out that they had just a day in a week to talk to Biggie, so he would compile all he had to say and would tear off Biggie's ears during his sessions. Omashola, the guy used to talk a lot in the diary room, oh my god, I'm not even gonna go there. Omashola said he also felt Big Brother was not just a big brother but a father figure to him, and he said that moment actually set him straight, and it calmed him because at that stage in his life he didn't know, or he didn't think that he would actually listen to someone tell him to do this, to do that, to control his moments literally. So Ebuka moved from Omashola and then asked Jackye who she felt was more of a diary room person, Omashola or Khafi. And Jackye said that Omashola for her was pouring out his heart and used that opportunity to express himself in the diary rooms. But she felt the other person, and the other person here, who we're talking about, is Khafi. Come on, guys, don't be childish. Mention each other's name. This thing is just, whew. And VENITA, in her corner, mentioned Parrot. And Jackye continued by saying that the Parrot party's own was to attack other people. This is so childish. I have to pause and say this. Anyways. And Jackye continued by saying the Parrot party's own was to attack other people. To Jackye, Khafi used the diary room session to smear the image of other, or if not all, the housemates, unlike just expressing herself. Ebuka decided to play the devil's advocate and felt that the diary room was a place or a space for them to speak their mind in confidence, and asked Jackye why that was a problem for her. Jackye said that it was fair enough, but tells the kind of person that the other one is. She stated that an example of being friends with someone, smiling in their face and stabbing them in the back. Ebuka asked if Khafi had said something specifically about her in the diary room and had changed her mind, and she said not necessarily, but that move for her felt like a bit off. So he now moved to VENITA, who was making, petty comments here and there, and asked VENITA why she feels Khafi's diary session was not a good thing. VENITA said to the contrary, she felt Khafi utilized the diary room sessions in ways that other housemates did or could not think of. She actually clapped for Khafi and said she really used it but didn't like the special effects Khafi attached to it. And VENITA actually mimicked Khafi. VENITA, oh my god. Okay, so Ebuka now asked SEYI if it was only a Khafi problem of going into the diary room and coming out and acting different. And SEYI said for him, he already felt like Khafi was who he thought Khafi was. And he went on to explain by describing her literally as lukewarm, and said that she switches personalities to suit whichever environment she is in. And he felt that was not real, and VENITA said that was insecurity. Housemates were asked how they felt about Biggie, and Joe said he felt Biggie was a company. Elozonab said his way, his house, his rules, period. Nelson said he was a strong politician. Jeff said he put them on cruise for more than one too many times. Sadi said there is no such thing as perfection, but he is close to it. SEYI said Biggie was his real OG, and that the man wanted him to grow, and he is aspiring to grow. NK said she felt Biggie is mysterious and very sexy. Ooh. Gidoni said he sees Biggie as an entity. VENITA said she's grateful to Biggie. Ike said it's like a love-hate relationship between him and Biggie. Diane said, when you think you're about losing yourself, he talks to you and keeps you in check. Kim said, I didn't really think Biggie liked me. And Tasha said, Biggie is my big bro, her big bro for life. And Cindy said, I'm in love with Biggie's voice. Frodd said Biggie was a special part of us becoming. I didn't really understand that statement. And Omashola said Biggie is like that kind of father figure that teaches his kids the way they should go. And he does it the right way. Ebuka then asked him why he felt Biggie didn't like him. And in summary, she felt as a big brother, Biggie didn't make her comfortable enough to talk to him. She felt he was too strict. She also felt it was a new environment, so she had to take time to adjust, and Biggie didn't really give her that, time to do that. Jackye now chipped in and said she felt a lot of people who did good in the diary session already watched the previous shows and knew how to play the game. She said even though Omashola denies it, he did, and also he did watch the show. She also felt Khafi watched the show too. She also chipped in that she felt she was also going to be very comfortable during the first time in the diary room session, but naturally she couldn't open up the very first day, and she thought Biggie was going to give her the opportunity to be comfortable. Basically, she felt like the people that did good in the diary room session knew that point in time was a killer and an opportunity to basically sell their markets. And she said that whoever did great in the diary room session must have watched and studied the trends of Big Brother. Omashola then defended himself by saying he didn't know viewers paid much attention to the diary session. If he did, he would not have said some of the things he said in there, and that he felt that he was talking to God because no one would know. And Jackye now stated that, but there were cameras in there. This matter, we are still settling. Well, he still held his grounds and said what he said. Frodd disagreed with Jackye and said he felt it was more of a personality thing and not about Big Brother. He felt Big Brother prepared them enough even before they had their real diary session. And you remember, Big Brother did this thing where he asked their housemates to be their own Big Brother by pairing each other to, talk to each other. Like, you get what I mean? If you watched Big Brother, you know what I'm talking about. But well, Kim closed by saying it's one thing talking to a human being and another thing talking to a... So now we have Mercy, Ike, and Tasha joining online. And there was a bit of a recap of Mercy and Khafi talking about Biggie while blushing. Oh my God, it was an hour moment to see the girls had a crush on him. And Ebuka asked Mercy what it was about Big Brother that made her crush so hard on him, and she said that he had a way of making her feel good, especially his voice. And I must say a lot of the girls did crush on Biggie, and she said that most of the time she forgot to complain about everything she wanted to complain about anytime she entered the diary room, because anytime she heard Biggie's voice, she would start blushing, and that would make her forget everything, and that she wishes her boyfriend had that voice. And Ebuka teased Ike a while, and the housemates laughed along with that. Anyways, housemates were asked who they thought vented the most in the diary room, and Joe felt no one. The housemates were asked who they vented most about. And then Joe said he vented about no one, Nelson said he vented about Frodd. Seyi said Frodd. Elozanam said he vented about Tasha and NK. Ike said he vented most about Mercy. Jeff said no one. Seyi said he vented about himself. VENITA said he vented about a situation, not anyone. Diane said he vented about Omashola because she felt Omashola was too loud. And Toyo said he just held himself back, but he had a lot of reason to vent. Omashola said he vented about Frodd because Frodd hurt him emotionally. So Tasha was asked her idea of diary room session, and she said basically someone to talk to besides the housemates, and then she felt that someone that she could talk to about anything, and to her big brother was like a brother to her, and she always wanted to talk to him and to know his assessment and judgment when it comes to presentations and tax. So Ebuka gave us a bit of more recap of a diary session where someone was venting, and the person happened to have been Frodd. It was a diary room session where Frodd was venting. We don't exactly know who he was venting about, but then Frodd felt that he was being picked on because he was an emotional person. So he says Seyi knew why he was emotional, and that he had gotten into the house right from the theater because his mom had undergone a surgery. So anytime he was up for eviction, he didn't know if he was ready to go face his mom or stay in the house and be successful, be able to also take care of her. So he felt Seyi played on that part of his emotion, and Seyi started making faces, and first said Seyi's mom apologized on his behalf, and Seyi definitely did not like that statement, and that had a bit of a back and forth with Seyi, and talking about, my mom called you to apologize. So the guys had a bit of a back and forth. You guys know Seyi now, so I'm not gonna even go into it. So they had their own back and forth, blah 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 blah. It was just, oh my god, and Seyi was making all his funny facial expressions. Anyway, Ebuka ended the show by saying that a famous person once, love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Thank you all for watching. Good night.